Grandma, could I borrow $50? Why? For drugs. Okay, thank you. Anyway, have you been wanting to legally purchase a Glock brand pistol from your thrice incarcerated cousin Corey, but you're not sure what the difference between a Gen 3 and a Gen 5 Glock is? Do you wish to no longer be an outsider to the arcane knowledge of Glock generations? Well, worry no more. I'm going to explain to you the differences between all the models, including the obscure ones. But first, the history of the Glock. Gaston Glock was born. Just kidding, nobody cares. Here's the differences between the generations of Glocks. Note, I won't be repeating every feature of the models. I'll only be saying the changes the new model has. The Gen 1 Glock is pretty easy to identify, even if at first you may not know why. But for now, all you need to keep in mind is that it's a smooth boy. No rail, no nothing. The Gen 2 adds grenade checkering on the front and back of the grip and also includes a serrated trigger guard. Gen 3 is when most of the biggest changes came in, including a rail under the barrel, finger grooves, thumb rests, a new extractor that doubles as a loaded chamber indicator, and an additional pin above the already existing one above the trigger. Also, early Gen 3 models have the half moon cutout on the magazine well found on the previous generation models, while later models omit it for a more full grip. Gen 4 is when they first officially started keeping track of the generations, and even has Gen 4 marked on the slide. Other changes include the previous pebble grip texture being replaced with a checkered pattern, different checkering on the front and back of the grip, a changeable backstrap, and the magazine release being the same width on both sides of the grip to allow it to be swapped to the left side of the frame, with redesigned magazines to boot. Gen 5 isn't massively different from Gen 4, but does certainly have notable changes. It says Gen 5 on the slide, has had the finger grooves removed, and the front end of the slide is beveled. It also has a flared magwell, an ambidextrous slide release, and no locking block pin above the trigger pin. Additionally, early Gen 5s see the return of the half-moon cutout on the front of the magazine well, while later Gen 5s revert this change. Later models also have the frame beveled to match the slide, and even later versions feature serrations on the front of the slide in addition to the rear.